Well, hello everybody, and welcome to week 2 in the SNHU 107 Learning Community. I'm Melanie Shop, your SNHU 107 Learning Community gal, here to talk to you about time management tips for your success and your assignments that are due for week 2, module 2. First and foremost, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It is our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also email this incredible team at oac@snhu.edu or visit their Online Accessibility Center website. What does this mean for you? The university wants to make sure that you get content in a way that works best for you and your learning style. If you have questions about this, want to know more, please reach out directly to the Online Accessibility Center as soon as possible. A couple of helpful reminders about these webinars. As you guys know, we're now in week 2. You will find that we have some live sessions, and then we have some that are considered on-demand or pre-recorded. The on-demand and pre-recorded you can find every Monday morning in the First Year Experience YouTube page. That link is down in the lower right-hand corner in the chat. Plus, if there's any live sessions, you will be notified via your classroom announcements and SNHU University student email. Please remember that the classroom space, this space, and the learning communities in SNHU Connect are all academic spaces, so always be mindful of your conduct. These webinars or any of the videos put together for the SNHU 107 learning community, they're not mandatory. There's no grades associated, no extra credit points, but the point of these webinars and videos is to walk you through the content from week to week, make sure you understand and know how to do the assignments from week to week, and also give you a little bit of motivation, extra support as you need it. If you ever have any questions, remember to always reach out to your instructors and advisors. Other helpful tips and tricks for Module 2, Week 2 is, y'all, please make sure you are reading course announcements and always checking your university SNHU student email. It is so important. Your faculty for all of your classes are going to put helpful tips, ideas, best practices, reminders, and those kinds of things in your course announcements from week to week. Check them multiple times throughout the week. Just get in the habit of doing it now. It makes it easier as you go from course to course. Also, make sure you're always checking your university student SNHU email. That is how the university is going to communicate with you, and it's really important to stay on top of that for your success in case something is needed or somebody needs something from you. Also, please remember that your faculty want you to be successful. We want you to get your degree and do well here at SNHU. So as you move from week to week or through the terms, don't hesitate to get familiar with your instructor. Look at that My Instructor announcement in your Brightspace courses. Look and see how your instructor likes to be contacted. All of us email. A lot of us will get on the phone with you. A lot of faculty also text message. Some even set up different Teams meetings or in Adobe like this, or even FaceTime or Google Hangout. So we want you to be successful. Reach out with those questions. The other reminder for you guys is that we are now beginning week 2, right? So last week, you guys worked really hard in week 1, and you submitted your assignments and everything got done, that warm up and your discussion assignment by this last Sunday. Your faculty have a whole week, so 7 days to grade, okay? Some faculty might grade as things come in. Some might grade throughout that week, and some you might not see your grades until Sunday. That's just how it goes. But just know that on week 3, Monday, you'll have grades for your very first week, okay? Does that make sense? So just remember that faculty have a week to grade, 7 days from when your assignments are all due, all right? If you have questions on that or you're not sure how to find that, I will show you guys quickly here today, but you can always reach out to your instructor and they'll make sure that you know what to look for and where to find it. Week 2 brings a new assignment. So last week you guys had a warm-up, that warm-up quiz, and you had the discussion assignment. This week, you will have a discussion assignment. So same style, same due dates with that initial post, answering the questions posted in the discussion forum by Thursday. and a minimum of 2 responses to classmates by Sunday. Can you do those a little bit earlier? Of course you can. You can work at your convenience, but make sure they're submitted at minimum by Thursday and Sunday, okay? You have a new assignment this week. It's called an activity assignment. For this assignment, you do need to have Microsoft Word or something compatible so that you are able to utilize the template that you need to use for this assignment to be able to open it or download it, open it, fill it out, and then submit it to your faculty for grading. If you do not have Microsoft Word, remember as an SNHU student, you do get Office 365 for free. You can find that by going into your Brightspace Classroom. At the very top, it says Online Student Services. Click on it, scroll down, you'll see Office 365, click through it, follow the prompts, or you can always reach out to our SNHU help desk. The biggest thing I want you guys to know is I want you to know how to find that template, how to open it up and submit it, and just a reminder that like the quiz last week, this assignment is due on Sunday, but you can always submit it earlier in the week, all right? So just remember for week 2, we have a discussion, just like last week, but different questions, right? And then instead of the warm-up, you have this activity assignment, but you do need to use the template that's assigned for it. Now, I mentioned earlier, it's important to know how to check your grades. So I just wanted to run through that really quickly with you guys. When you log into your Brightspace Classroom, you can click on that course menu and scroll down to where it says grades. When you click on grades, it's going to open a screen that looks very similar to this, okay? You will see the different assignments laid out and their title. You'll see how many points they were worth. Then you'll see a grade associated if it's been graded. And then you'll see under this assessment area, you'll see where you actually can click and you'll be able to view the rubric and how your faculty members scored you in each area of the rubric. And there's notes associated with how you did. Things like what you did really well. Maybe you needed to remember some of your writing mechanics, like capitalizing things properly or writing in complete sentences. They might refer you to some university resources. So make sure that you're checking those from week to week so you can stay on top of your assignments, know what you're doing well, know where you might need to improve. And just in case there's some kind of technology snafu and something doesn't upload like you thought, you're on top of it so you can get that in as soon as possible and work with your faculty for your success. Okay, so that's all the basics. We know what we're going to be handling for week 2, and we know how to be checking our grades. Now, week 2 focuses heavily on time management. Now, I want you to think for a minute and be honest with yourself. How is your time management? Is it good? Do you feel like you're pretty organized? Do you have time for things that are on your plate, both inside and outside of the classroom? Or are you like, I'm a spicy disaster and I'm a procrastinator, I don't know what to do and things are everywhere? Or maybe you're somewhere in between. No matter where you are, I want you to remember that adding school to an already busy plate can be a lot, or just adding school as a new thing on your plate is new and it's different. So I'm going to talk you guys through just a few examples of things that students have said have helped them get organized in a way that works best for them for their success. But I like to share this comic. How do they expect us to learn time management when every hour here feels like 3 hours, a week feels like a year, and the weekends fly by in like 10 minutes? The reminder and the purpose of this comic is honestly that when we're doing something that we're looking forward to, that we enjoy, something that's fun, time goes fast, right? We want to plan for it. We want to make time for it. When we're doing something that maybe isn't our cup of tea or something we're not super excited about, we don't want to make time for it. We don't want to plan for it. We're going to try to procrastinate as much as we can, right? I don't want that to happen with your schoolwork. And as you move from class to class, or as you move from different material and different types of assignments, you might find yourself loving some things more than others. But your consistent behavior of managing your time and making that SNHU time and staying on top of your priorities and to-do list, both inside and outside the classroom, is going to help you feel as balanced as you can and not overwhelmed. I love to share this quote by William Penn. Time is what we want most, but what we use worst. Think about it for a minute. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And often we're amazed by people and all the things that they get done in 24 hours compared to us, right? but I don't want you to compare yourself to anybody else. I want you to take a good, hard look at yourself in the mirror. And I want you to think about how you best stay organized, how you best organize your time, and what needs to be on your schedule and what doesn't, and where you might need some help. So repeat after me. I need to do what works best for me. Because as you get into your classes, as the weeks go on, things can get a little bit harder. Classes can be a little bit more difficult. You might have busier seasons of life than others. And you need to remember that at the end of the day, you want to be your most successful so you take home that college degree, right? So a couple of things just to think about is thinking about how you learn best. So does this sound like you? Are you somebody that likes routine, structure, details, due dates, and deadlines? If that sounds like you, make sure that as you're making your schedule or thinking about your to-do list, that those things are included. So do you have a routine in place for school? Have you mapped out when you're going to have that study time or that SNHU time? What about outside of school? Like with work, did your hours change? Like, do you need to reset a routine? Do you need to put a routine in place for yourself or maybe anybody that lives with you? Those are kind of things to think about. If there's things in your life that are missing the structure, the details, or you don't know a due date or a deadline, ask and find out. Find out now so that you can feel more organized and at peace with how things are going. What about this? Does this sound like you? Are you somebody maybe that needs to focus on a few things at a time? If there's too many things going on, you're going to get overwhelmed. So are you somebody that needs to have like a top 5? Like I'm somebody like that. I got a lot of things happening, inside and outside of my work environment, out of home, just all the things, right? So for me, I have like a top 5 thing list I need to get done every day. So that helps me stay organized and know like what's a priority and what needs to move maybe to another day. Maybe you're somebody that needs to write things down, whether it's on a Post-it, whether it's in a planner, maybe it's putting it in your phone with like alarms, those visual cues that just help you remember what's going on. Some students tell me that they have like this family command center. They have a whiteboard or a chalkboard somewhere, or an app that they use, and it just has everybody's schedules and where they're going and what they're doing, and it helps everybody just kind of stay organized. Again, do what works best for you. Maybe you're somebody that likes to cross things off. I know I am. And you could be a mix of all of these things too, right? But the key is figuring out how you can best schedule that SNHU time for your success, but also fit, home life priorities, work life priorities, social life priorities, career life priorities, all into the same 24 hours in a way that makes you feel comfortable with what you're doing. And so you don't become overwhelmed. I love to share this idea that a student told me several years ago. They are somebody that when they listen to like music or they hear like the directions, that is the best learning style for them. So they actually use their voice recorder or voice memo from their phone, and they record their to-do list the night before. And then they listen to it throughout the day to make sure that they're getting done what they needed to get done or remembering the things that they needed to remember. Pretty good idea, right? The key is knowing how you're going to learn best and finding a way to put school in your schedule so that you can still get everything done and feel comfortable and confident in what you're doing. So a few things to think about. You guys have already heard me say a million times, schedule your SNHU time. I mean it, do it. You're going to get burned if you don't. When I talk about scheduling your SNHU time, one of the things a lot of students like to say is, well, I took online classes so that I could do school when it was convenient for me. You can still do that. But if you sit down and schedule, a couple 15-minute blocks throughout your day, or if you have the flexibility to do an hour or two a couple times a week, and you actually stick to it, you're going to find yourself being able to get things done, put yourself in a routine, and have some flexibility in case something happens or comes up in life, because life can happen. Learning to prioritize what is the most important thing that's going to align you with your goals and keep you on track versus what is not is going to be something that you're going to work through this term. Remembering to be flexible and be positive with yourself and those around you. I like to tell students that if you have the ability, because students tell me this is what worked for them, if you have the ability to work earlier in the week versus later in the week, it can really give you kind of some cushion or some room in your schedule in case life happens. or in case like things just kind of go off track. Like for example, here in week 2, you have that discussion assignment, right? It's not due till Thursday, the initial post, but maybe work on it Monday, Tuesday, and do your peer responses Wednesday, Thursday. The discussion's off your plate, and all you have left is the assignment activity, or vice versa. Maybe you want to get that assignment activity out of the way first thing Monday, Tuesday this week, and then you can work on your discussion and maybe have the weekend free. But everybody's schedule is different. It's just looking at your schedule and seeing if you could work ahead a little bit. It gives you kind of some grace and some flexibility in case life happens. So just a top tip from some of the students, actually from many students, because they say that tends to work really well. You might not be able to do it every week, but anything you can do a little bit will definitely help. And if you're somebody that does love to work ahead and your schedule allows for that, that is incredible and awesome. But I also caution you, don't work like 2-3 weeks ahead. Just work ahead on the assignments from week to week, because you don't want to miss something that your faculty is going to talk about or discuss that's going to help your grade be better. Okay. Remember to always communicate with your faculty if you have questions. Communicate with those at home in your everyday life, with your employer, especially if maybe you're going to be doing like homework during breaks or like during lunch. Maybe they changed your hours so you could do some homework stuff. Just remember to keep those lines and doors of communication open. Delegate. This is a big one. Many of you, not all of you, but many of you probably have other people in your life that live in your household. So is there things that they could help pick up that would just give you a little bit of extra time? For example, could they maybe unload and load the dishwasher? Could they maybe switch the laundry or fold it and put away? Could they maybe move the snow or mow the lawn or whatever it might be, right? So just some things to think about is what can you delegate that can free up a little bit of your time? And I know I have 2 young boys, and it is very difficult for me to let go of things and have them help me. But they help with laundry and they help with the dishwasher. And sometimes I'm missing dishes forever and I'll never find certain silverware again. However, it was done. And I didn't have to spend my 15-20 minutes doing it because they got it done. And it's good for them to learn these skills because they're going to need it later in life, right? So life lessons, just an idea, something to think about. Because even if you can give yourself an extra 15-20 minutes, there's a lot you can do with that, even if it's just taking a minute for yourself to take a deep breath, right? Remembering to prepare before. What I mean by this is, let's say that you have a work trip coming up or a fun vacation planned, or maybe you're getting married, or you have a baby coming, things that are like life things. And if you can prepare before, like if you know you're going to be gone and it's during the middle of the term, or baby might come during the middle, beginning, or end of the term somewhere, communicate with your advisor and your faculty so we can make a plan for your success so you don't fall behind. See if you can turn a few things in early so that you're not as stressed and can enjoy those moments, right? One of my favorites is just say no. This is a complete sentence. This is for all of us that like to take things on when we really maybe don't have the time, or maybe we just take it on because we think we need to, but we really don't love it. The word no is a complete sentence. Your time is precious, and you're going to realize as you are in classes and doing the normal things that you usually do and adding classes to your schedule that you're not going to be able to do it all. So pick and choose what is going to be best for you, best for those that are in your world, and they're going to keep you on track to earning your degree, okay? Another big one is eliminate those distractions and time stealers. Y'all, social media and phones and gaming are probably the 3 biggest that students talk about term after term after term, how they get distracted by their phone with text messages, scrolling social media, watching TikTok. My gaming students are like, oh my gosh, I thought I was gaming for like 15-20 minutes before I knew it was 2 hours. So do things like set timers. If you're going to scroll social media or be gaming, set a timer so that you don't go over that amount and it doesn't totally get your schedule off track. Or maybe use those things, scrolling social media or gaming or doing things like dinners and fun things with family and friends or movie nights as a reward for when your homework's done. Because then you can actually enjoy it and not be stressing yourself out, right? And then, of course, as always, definitely make sure that you're utilizing your SNHU resources and those social supports. SNHU resources are the people, places, and things departments here at the university. So things like advisors, faculty, learning communities, the help desk, the academic support team, the library, the list goes on and on. Social supports are people, places, and things outside of the university. So like loved ones, colleagues, friends, family, faith-based organizations, community-based organizations. So know who you might need to lean on or connect with if you need something, because you're never alone and somebody's always there to support you in your success, okay? So that's a little bit about some time management tips, tricks, strategies, and ideas, because here in week 2, you are talking all about time. For your discussion this week, you're going to be thinking about schedule interruptions. So people, things that interrupt your schedule, what you have control over and what you don't, and how you handle it. So make sure you review the discussion prompts for your success so you know what to answer as you work through this week 2 discussion. As a reminder, initial post due Thursday, minimum of 2 classmate responses due by Sunday, but you can always do those a little bit earlier. The activity assignment looks a little bit like this, and I am going to share my screen and show you where to find this just so you know where to find it. But basically, you're going to open up this Word document that's underneath the week 2 activity assignment area in module 2. You're going to completely fill out the time log, and then you're going to have a couple of questions. You're going to be thinking about your busiest day before school, and you're going to be filling that time log out with what that busiest day before school looked like. If you don't remember, you just kind of gauge it. Just make sure that every hour has something listed, okay? And then the other questions are really talking about how you would have adjusted your schedule to be available for school after you kind of like look back at it, and then how you would choose between priorities. You're going to open up that document, type in it, spell check it, save it, and upload it so your faculty can grade it. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second, but I wanted to make sure that you kind of just had a snapshot of it in case you need to come back and look at this again. So give me just a second here, and I am going to share my screen. And I will show you. So here is Brightspace, right? First, I want to show you guys, remember I said you could find that Office 365, click on Online Student Services, and it's going to pull up all the departments that are here at the university. So this is an easy place to get a hold of anybody you might need to that's an SNHU resource. As you scroll down, you'll see that Office 365 and other software. Click on the blue, gets you where you want to go, follow the prompts to get Office 365 downloaded for free, which has things like Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. If you get stuck, reach out to the SNHU help desk. Their information is right up here, okay? Now, as a reminder, course menu, grades, that is where you can click to see your grades. So just a reminder, that's where you can find everything. Let's go under learning modules, and let's go to module 2. So module 2 pulls up just like this. Remember to always click the blue, click through all the readings, the assigned chapters, watch the videos. There's all the fun things in there, right? And so much good information. Here's a reminder of your discussion assignment that we talked about. You can link to the discussion. And then here is that 2-2 activity personal scheduling. So I wanted to show you just really quick that you can click on there. And when you click on there, you will see where you can review the requirements and rubric. So this again is where you'll see what you're doing. You'll click on the blue, and that is actually going to download the Word document template, okay, that you're going to use. It's going to go over how to do it. It's going to give you this rubric, which is how you're graded. But I wanted to show you just super quick. I already downloaded it. So I'm going to open it up for you guys so you can see it. You might have a little bar that pops up when you download yours that says enable editing. Just click on enable editing. But this is what that template looks like. And you'll notice it has from 5 a.m. all the way to 5 a.m., right? So a whole day. So what you want to do is, be honest with what you're doing. So if you're sleeping, some of you might be working at this time, but maybe you're sleeping, maybe you're getting ready here, getting ready for work. But basically you want to make sure this is filled out every hour. Because the purpose of this is looking back at it and being like, okay, this was my schedule before I started school. All right. So, wow, before I started school, that was a really busy day. Like, how would have I included schoolwork in that day above? Would there have been anything that you maybe wouldn't have done, something you would have rescheduled? Maybe you would have moved some things around. You want to write in complete sentences and just answer that right down here. So you can type right in here. And then the third question is, describe how you would choose between tasks, activities, and events that take place at the same time on your schedule. So again, that's knowing who and what is a priority and answering grammatically correct and in complete sentences, how you would choose between things that could be at the same time on your schedule. Examples are like, let's say that you have like a family birthday celebration. but you also have a discussion assignment that's due that you hadn't gotten done yet. And then maybe you had to stay late for work, or your work hours changed, you got called into work. Like, how do you pick what to do and why? Like, that's just an example of like things taking place on your schedule at the same time. Okay. So then you would save that document, and then you would upload it. And how you actually upload it, let me go back here. You'll see, mine looks a little bit different because I'm a faculty member, but you'll see upload. So you'll click on upload, then you'll click on the file, and then you'll upload it, and you will be able to see it. Okay. So that's just a quick run through about how to do that activity assignment, where to find it. Just a reminder, you have both a discussion assignment and you have that activity assignment. I want to leave you guys with one of my favorite quotes from Harvey Mackay. Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you've lost it, you can never get it back. It really references time in a way that can change your thinking, right? Folks, we talked a little bit about time management. We talked about some habits for your success. We walked through the activity assignment and what you're going to be talking about this week in the discussion board. So now it's just up to you. Go get it. You're going to be absolutely amazing. If you get stuck, you have questions, reach out to your advisor or your faculty member. But just remember, you got this. Have an amazing week 2, and I will see you in week 3.